This set of slides is designed to walk you through the various pathways available to HSC students and the main considerations in each. There are 3 options for students at the end of Year 10, and there is no one correct option for everyone. The right choice will vary for each individual. Traditionally, between 10 to 15 students will leave school at the end of this year and transition to TAFE and/or to the workforce. These students are perhaps not suited to learning in a traditional classroom environment, and they will receive a record of school achievement, or a ROSA, to certify the completion of Year 10. A small number of students have indicated that they will pursue this option, and we will assist these students in transition to TAFE or the workforce. Mr. Ruxton has this term taken on the position of Teacher in Charge of Careers from Mrs. Formica, and students should work closely with him in their transition. Whilst the majority of students will continue into Year 11, some of our students, approximately 10, will decide at some stage during or at the end of Year 11 that the best option for them is to leave school. They will receive a record of school achievement, or a ROSA, to indicate the completion of Year 10 and/or Year 11, and they will also transition to TAFE and/or the workforce. The majority of students will complete Year 12 and receive their higher school certificate and ROSA, following 2 different pathways. Approximately 70% will follow a pathway that qualifies them direct entry to university via an ATAR, whilst approximately 30% will undertake a pathway that prepares them for workplace and training upon the completion of Year 12, with alternative avenues to university if desired. Again, the correct option will vary for each student based on their interests and abilities. Students have 2 important decisions to make. Firstly, what to do next year, and if continuing at school, determining course preferences that will allow you to succeed in your chosen pathway and maximise your opportunities at the end of Year 12. There is no correct pathway or pattern of study. This is an individual decision based on a number of factors. It's very important that you do what suits you, not what suits your friends or an older sibling. There are 3 key factors that should influence your course preferences. Firstly, students must have a genuine interest in the course, so they are prepared to work consistently each evening over the next 2 years. Secondly, courses need to be challenging to maintain motivation. Students will do well when they stretch themselves beyond what they thought they were capable of. However, there's a fine line between what is realistic and what is too much, or how far you can stretch. Thirdly, students should be realistic about their capabilities and abilities. Choosing several courses with major works, attempting an ATAR pathway where there is no desire to go to university, or wanting to attempt difficult courses where current grades don't meet the recommended level of performance will most likely end in frustration, a loss of motivation, and underachievement. When considering what your course preferences will be, you should base your decisions on these factors. Subject selection is about choosing courses that you are good at, are interested in, and that may help you succeed in tertiary studies. Realistically, there are 2 main pathways when choosing to complete the HSC. The first is what we refer to as an ATAR pathway. This is the required pathway for students wishing to enter university in 2024. This pathway may include a purely academic focus or can be combined with one VET qualification. Students are required to complete external examinations in a minimum of 10 units at the end of Year 12, as well as completing internal assessment. The second option is a workplace and training pathway. This is for students who don't want to go directly to uni and are planning on entering the workforce or attending TAFE upon completing Year 12. This pathway prepares students for TAFE and/or the workforce, and there is a stronger focus on competencies and skills. All assessment is school-based as there are no external examinations. Upon making the decision to return to Year 11, students begin the first of the 2 years that we refer to as Stage 6. In this stage, each course has a 1 or 2 unit value and is either developed or endorsed by NESA. Each course falls into Category A or B. Every student who completes both years of Stage 6 will leave Aquinas with an HSC, but only some will opt to attain an 8R. Study in Stage 6 is divided into a number of key subjects, under titles such as English, Mathematics and Religion. Courses within these subjects differ in difficulty. For example, in English Studies, English Standard and English Extension, or in content in the case of Modern and Ancient History, or the various science courses, for example, Biology, Chemistry, Investigating Science and Physics. Each course has a unit value, either 1 unit or 2 units. Generally, the difference between 1 and 2 unit courses is the amount of time spent on them and the amount of assessment. At Aquinas, a 1 unit course has 4 periods a fortnight and a 2 unit course has 7 periods a fortnight. There is a maximum of 3 formal assessment tasks per year for 1 unit courses and a maximum of 4 formal assessment tasks for 2 unit courses. HSC exams for 2 unit courses are generally 3 hours duration, whilst exams for 1 unit courses are generally 1.5 hours. It is important when selecting courses that students understand that each unit of study attracts an equal amount of class time and should have a reasonably equal amount of personal time devoted to both homework and study. NESA has approved many courses which fall into several categories with literally hundreds of different patterns of study. To ensure there is consistency for each student in achieving the HSC qualification, there are requirements around the types of courses students undertake. Board-developed courses are developed by NESA, and all students in the state study the same course content and complete the same HSC examination. These courses may contribute to the calculation of a student's ATAR. Board-endorsed courses have syllabuses endorsed by NESA to cater for a wide candidature in areas of specific need not served by board-developed courses. These courses may offer an alternative career pathway for students. They contribute towards the HSC, but as they do not have an external exam, they do not contribute towards an ATAR. Courses are also divided into 2 categories. The majority of courses are Category A courses. These courses have academic rigour and depth of knowledge to provide background for tertiary studies. Examples include biology and geography. Category B courses contribute towards gaining an HSC, but they lack the academic rigour as preparation for university. Therefore, no more than 2 units of Category B courses can be included in the ATAR calculation. Examples include English Studies, Mathematics Standard 1, and all VET courses, including construction and hospitality. NESA has the following requirements to be eligible for the HSC. English is mandatory for the HSC, and if you are receiving an ATAR, your English result must count in your 10 units. English Studies and Mathematics Standard 1 are board-developed Category B courses. We have advised students that if they want to use English or Maths to contribute to their ATAR, they should study English Standard or Mathematics Standard 2. Extension courses are not separate subjects. For example, Advanced English plus English Extension 1 plus English Extension 2 equals 4 units, but only one subject. At most, 6 units of courses in science can be included in the pattern of study for Year 11. Students in all Catholic schools are required to undertake at least 1 unit of religion in both Years 11 and 12. Whilst these may seem confusing, the planning sheet students receive helps with this, and our process ensures that all students meet these requirements. When considering what courses to undertake, students should carefully consider the formal assessment required. Throughout Year 11, each course will have a maximum of 3 formal assessment tasks, which may include set tasks, in-class research tasks and tests, major works or projects, and an end-of-year examination. Please note that in Year 11 there is no external assessment. Each school sets and marks their own assessment tasks. An assessment handbook will be issued early in Year 11, listing all formal assessment dates. For students on an ATAR pathway, the final HSC mark is a combination of internal assessment, the formal assessment tasks completed at school throughout Year 12, and external assessment, major works or performances, along with the external HSC exams that take place in October. Both moderated internal and external assessment contributes 50% to the final HSC mark in each course. For most students on a workplace and training pathway, they will not sit any external exams, so their internal assessment will have a weighting of 100%. All 2-unit board-developed courses will have an external examination at the end of Year 12, usually 3 hours in length, which examines all work completed throughout Year 12. The exception to these examination times is English, which currently includes 2 exams, one of 90 minutes and one of 2 hours for both standard and advanced courses. Also, courses with a major project or work have exams ranging from half to 2 hours. In deciding on a pathway, students need to consider their capacity and motivation to prepare for and sit several 3-hour exams over a short period of time. Several courses require students to complete a major work or project. These take several months to complete, and the finished product must demonstrate that the student has worked consistently over a long period of time. The reality attached to most major works is that these do not only include a project where you perform or make something that you are passionate about. They also include a theory component, for example, a process diary that can be up to 80 pages in length and that attracts a percentage of your final result. If you intend to study drama, please be aware that in addition to your personal major work, you will be required to participate in a group performance that includes practice sessions both in class and in personal time. Your attendance record must be healthy as a result. One of the frequent questions we have to deal with is whether students can change courses. The timetable will be constructed on preferences students enter early next term, and course lines will be locked in. In the first few weeks of next year, it may be possible to change a course. However, this will depend on there being room in the new course and on it being on at the same time as the course you wish to change out of. Students will also have to catch up on the work that they have missed. When entering your preferences, assume that you will not be able to make changes. With Year 11 courses ending at the end of Term 3, once Week 4 of Term 1 has passed, it is too late to change your pattern of study, as having to catch up detracts from your other courses.